our president has told us we have peace, we got a deal, we're very serious. Oh, wait, Bibi and I are in a fight. Oh, wait, Iran says there's not a deal.
That got weird, didn't it?
Because they don't have an idea.
I think we have some headlines. Yeah.
Oh, there we are, right? I mean,
the girls are fighting again.
Well, I raised 2 young women, and I wouldn't say it that way. These mad men, for their own reasons, both probably to try and stay out of jail.
Right.
They were.
Trump brought up allegedly to Netanyahu, who said, "You would be in jail if it weren't for me."
Okay, look, they I don't want to say what's in my head. They made a deal to go to war together, and we're 5-6 weeks in, and now that deal is broken. These are snakes. Right. When you decide you're going to go and get in a foxhole with somebody, you better be reliable, and neither of these men is.
So we've now tanked gas prices. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Netanyahu was able to meet some of his objectives going into Lebanon, upping violence in the West Bank, but fundamentally the region is a lot less stable than it was before this war started on February 28th. I mean, nobody can really feel like they've gotten that much out of this.
Except Iran, and with a lot of pain for sure. But they now know they can close the Strait of Hormuz. That's a gift as big as giving them a nuclear weapon to be able to stop the whole global economy. So they're the winners. Everybody else is a loser in this, and the human sacrifice is unconscionable. The people killed over there by everybody's bombings. It's not making people safer. At some point, you have to sit down and have a political solution. You cannot just beat people up or bomb people and get what you want all the time. That's not how a school playground works, and it's not how the global politics works. I mean, I don't even want to think this. You can't bomb your way to victory unless you're willing to drop nuclear weapons. And that's unthinkable. It's unthinkable.
Well, maybe not with this president. I mean, he's certainly threatened it enough. But the fact that there is reporting that he's bored of the conflict now. That's why you started hearing the ramp up for invading Cuba, because he needs some new hot conflict for him to get involved in without closing, the loop on the last war that he started. I mean, going to war is the most sober decision that a president can make. Putting our troops in harm's way should be something that nobody does lightly. This guy looks at it like, oh, this was like an advertising campaign for Trump steaks. It didn't really work out the way I wanted, so I'm going to pivot to casinos now. But instead, we have 13 servicemen who have been lost, thousands of lives all over the Middle East, especially in Iran. I mean, this is why he has no business being president, and why nobody really at this point wants to be president, aside from, his solid 30%. But Edwin, right now,
and the oligarchs who are profiting from him.
This is true. But the American people, clearly with that Trump voter, I mean, she speaks for a lot of people who are tired of this. But Marco Rubio will be on the Hill today to answer questions about this war for the first time. Even some Republicans are really getting tired of this conflict. But Marco Rubio is pretty slick. He's pretty good at handling the press. He's pretty good at handling other Republicans. Do you think we're going to hear anything of interest from him?
No, I don't. Because everyone in that administration their job is to go to the Hill and say, the decisions are all the president's. I don't even know. I don't really have a job. I'm here, to put on the shoes that he gives me and walk around whether they fit or not. 14 jobs, whatever. Too many to do any of them well, right? But everyone is so careful to say, look, all the decisions are the president's. I don't want to get ahead of the president. President makes every decision because this is who they are. They live in this monarchy. So no, I don't think we'll hear anything from him. He has nothing to say. What can he say? I mean, whatever he says will be made irrelevant probably by 2 a.m. in some, blistering set of posts by the president.
Mm.
Right? No, this administration is lost. They're helpless. They do not know what to do with the problems that they've created. They don't know what to do about inflation. They don't know what to do about war. They don't know what to do about closing schools and hospitals. They don't know what to do about the panic that Americans are feeling, the loss of confidence in our economy. They don't know what to do about that. And what's interesting, you and I, we're not candidates. We're not out running for office. So we're talking about how pathetic this administration is, how dangerous, how out of touch. But when I go listen to Democratic candidates out there running for office, they spend about 2 minutes on Trump and they make the connection between his corruption and the problems that Americans face. But they love their communities. They want to serve those communities. And they aren't talking so much about Trump. They're talking about the people in the room, the people who are there and their lives and how to make them better. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just absolutely fabulous. I heard about a candidate today. I heard about a candidate this morning who's running in Texas in one of these gerrymandered districts. And he turns out to be a very big Latino music star.
Right.
Very, and his opponent said, oh, well, you know what? He might be good to play at your quinceanera, but not at Congress. And that spread like wildfire over the district. And he said, hey, look, if you want me for your quinceanera, call me. And he's now playing them all over the place. He's like a huge star, right? He's playing at all of these. And he's saying, I'm not going to charge you anything, but everybody has to register to vote. How about that? Like in Texas. So
these is a great technique.
Huh?
Yeah.